after 10 minutes. I hope that everybody is a little bit refreshed, hydrated, stretched, and then ready for the next session on the panel discussion. So now I would like to go into the panel discussion session to discuss the knowledge gaps, where are the knowledge gaps, and so on. And I would like to welcome four panelists here. First, I would like to invite Mr. Don Sakpuanya from the city of Harare, Zimbabwe. Mr. Don Sakpuanya is a solid waste management expert from the city of Harare, and with more than 25 years of experience in public health and of the city. He has been a focal point for the past year's collaboration with ACCP Secretariat, applying the Waste by Cities tool and action planning. I'm just wondering if Don Sakpuanya is here. Don? Mr. Sakpuanya? Oh. Veronica and Shiho, do you see any participants, Don Sakpuanya, named Don Sakpuanya? He was there yesterday and day before yesterday, but
I don't see now right now.
Okay, all right. So let me also try to call him later then. And then now, then I also would like to introduce Mr. Kuno Kubler, who is a senior environmental engineer from Department of Waste Management, Municipality of Munich. Sorry, am I going? Sorry. Municipality of Munich. He has more than 40 years of experience in working in environmental protection. So I don't know. Yeah, okay. Munich is a sister city with the city of Harare, and today we are looking forward to hearing the knowledge exchange between two cities, Munich and city of Harare. And then also I would like to introduce Mr. Francois Valens, who's from city of Bukavu, Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and it has been a focal point for the collaboration with the ACCP Secretariat in the last year for applying the Waste by Cities tool and also the related action planning. And then he also joined one of our Africa Waste webinar series #1 to share his experience in the solid waste management in Bukavu city and also challenges faced by the city of Bukavu. And now I also would like to welcome Mr. Pauline Bregeya. Mr. Pauline, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Yes. Maybe could you also turn on your camera so that everybody can see your face? Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Pauline Buregaya is CEO of COPET, public company of waste management, in charge of waste management in city of Kigali. It's one of the city called cleanest city in Africa. And he was very instrumental in terms of developing a waste management system after the genocide happened in Rwanda, and then gradually developing the waste collection system as well as the recovery system in the city of Kigali. So, and the Pauline and Francois both are joined the one of the Africa Waste webinar series, and then did some a little bit of knowledge sharing between them through this Africa webinar series #1. The recording is available online, so everybody joining here can look at it. That if you are interested in. So now I would like to ask several questions to maybe Shiho and then Veronica. Can you try to reach out to the also Don Sakwania as well for the panel discussion? Okay, so then I would like to move on to our key questions. So I would like to ask questions here. What knowledge and capacity development is most needed for the ACCP members? First up, I would like to ask this question to Francois. I think you've been very actively participating in this assembly session for the past two to three days, and from your perspective, what knowledge and capacity development is most needed, especially for your city of Bukavu? I think we did the Waste by Cities to survey in Bukavu City last year, and we found out that 7% is the waste collection rate in the city of Bukavu. But based on those realization and data and so on, what do you think we need to give as a capacity development for cities in Africa, from your perspective, please?
Thank you very much. I think I'm audible enough. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. Actually, thank you for the time given that we can also share our experience, the challenges we're having in the city of Bukavu. As you have said, last year we also got a chance to conduct a survey through the ACCP in the city of Bukavu, and we could realize that it is actually very important to be having such studies. Though we have been doing some researches and also studies in the city even before the ACCP survey, and we could see we are not very far from what we got as a result after the survey. Because I remember the data that we were having before the survey was like Bukavu could generate around 600 tons per day, and after the survey we could realize that we are generating around 900 tons per day. And of course, through the survey we could have accurate data, because we could now be able to differentiate between the plastic waste, different types of plastics, and also different characterization of the waste. And we could actually get the accurate data in terms of how much is collected. And unfortunately, in Bukavu, we are only able to collect 7%. It's unfortunate, and of course, that's our situation that we are experiencing right now in the city of Bukavu. But after the survey, we started working together with the other partners, because we could now have accurate data, and we could show to other partners that this is what we have, and the challenges actually are great. So we have to work on how to improve the situation in terms of collection. So of course, we have teams. We have the city partnered with youth organizations in terms of creating jobs to those cities. Those youth organizations. And we are also working together with them as our main partners. So we could realize that the main challenge we are having is in terms of capacity, logistical capacity. Actually, Bukavu, unfortunately, we don't have enough machinery in terms of collecting waste. And apart from that, we also don't have, many people are not trained. Even if we are having so many group organizations, these youth organizations that are working together with us as a city, as a municipality, the serious problem we're having is that these people are not trained. They even don't know, very much in terms of environmental health. They don't know much about the risks that they are facing on the daily basis as they collect their waste. And we are also having a problem in terms of policies. Bukavu doesn't have, the province, our South Kivu province, because Bukavu is the capital city of South Kivu province. We are located at the eastern part of DRC. We are actually having a problem in terms of policy. So the provincial government, even the national government could make, they have some policies, but it's not that much enforced. And the aspect of enforcing it doesn't produce result as we are expecting. And we are trying on changing the methodology, the method on how we can involve many people, as many as possible, to be part of the work the municipality is doing, together with the youth organizations. So we are trying to organize now different workshops where we involve many stakeholders, because we were doing it like it is a only city's business, like municipalities' business, which was very wrong. It was a very wrong approach. And we tried to enforce the law. So we realized that this thing is not working. So we have to bring so many people on board, especially identifying stakeholders, not only the youth organizations, but even the civil society, international organizations that are working in our city, the churches, the schools, universities, and all these people have to be brought together so that we can come up with a strategic plan. Unfortunately, we don't have one right now. And we really thank, I want to appreciate here the ACCP Secretariat that we are working together on assisting Bukavu come up with a strategic plan and also see how we can be assisted in terms of this. So we want to bring all these people together. I really believe that because people are lacking knowledge and accurate knowledge on waste management, that's why Bukavu is experiencing such situation. So once we bring all these people together, we really think and we believe that actually going forward, the situation will change and will improve in waste management in our city. So bringing many stakeholders, as many as possible on board, and investing, especially, in terms of finance, because we have to buy machinery, we have to build our capacity in terms of technical capacity, and also training these people in terms of policy making. So many people, especially the staff members, municipality staff members, have to be trained on policies, and also in terms of financial capacity building, because something which we really don't understand is that Bukavu has a population estimated at around 1.6 million. But the budget, the allocation in our municipal budget allocated to waste management is too small. So we don't have enough money to handle the daily work. So, and we really don't want to be crying outside there seeking for money. No, I think we have money within us. It's just a matter of training us. And as we will bring stakeholders on board, they will understand now and be part of the work of waste management system, because they have been seen like it is municipalities' work. So once we bring them on board, we mobilize funds together, we really believe that we'll achieve something. And the ACCP can actually help us in terms of training our city staff, training the group that we are working together with, and also bringing other partners, those who have succeeded in waste management in different cities, and bring all these people together to assist Bukavu so that we can move forward. So I think in terms of knowledge and capacity development, that's what we need. And we keep sharing the challenges we are having, and also we really need training, capacity building in terms of finance, getting funds for machinery, like I've said, the technical support. And the training on recycling is also very important, because once we are able to recycle, yeah, we do collect, it's okay, we collect, plus we dump, we collect and we dump. We have very few organizations that are working on recycling, but we actually don't buy the recycled product. And we also thought, like, if we can be able to buy the recycled product, we'll be encouraging those organizations which are working on the recycling to work more, to recycle more quantities, and we consume locally the recycled product. So it will be also a way of increasing the waste collection, because those organizations will now be able to collect more so that they can deliver on the product that are needed now in the city for other work. So we really think like we have to put more effort on bringing together different stakeholders, investing in terms of finance, getting training, and the right training for us to improve the waste management in our city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The importance of a right training is the focus of this discussion, and thank you very much for raising this, that the capacity development for finance, and then also the capacity development for the wider stakeholders, especially for the youth groups who are engaging in collection of the waste, who has no educational experience and so on. It's very, very interesting. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask this question, kind of like responding to the what Francis said, that what lessons can be really learned from the past success stories. I think this question is for Pauline and also Kuno. I'm just wondering that considering if you are considering the past experience, what kind of capacity development and what kind of like a knowledge provision for the people working in solid waste management in your city was very effective in reducing the generation of the waste or increasing the amount of the waste recycled? What kind of educational program that you have in Munich or COPED in Kigali?
Hello to all participants all over the world. The day yesterday was very interesting, and we have started the waste separation 30 years ago, and we make then since time awareness campaigns and so on. Our trucks are decorated for the actual slogans and so on. We have free employees for consulting the citizens, and we actualize from time to time our concept. We have a report about sustainability, and I know it was a very hard way and a long way. Some years ago we had the 125th birthday, and for this I made some poster for Connective Cities. They made an international workshop in Rostock, and it was very interesting to compare it, our situation, how we started 125 years ago, and how long we needed to come to this situation, what we have now. It maybe go faster in Africa because you have modern technologies, you have apps, you have nearby everyone has a smartphone, so it's possible to make it easier for these awareness campaigns.
Thank you very much. So you can also emphasize that those things can take a lot of years. However, that now maybe for the cities in Africa, it might be possible to do some leapfrog jumping to using the most updated technologies. Thank you. I would like to also hear from Pauline. Pauline, hi. What kind of lessons learned from the past success stories in terms of capacity development and knowledge, capacity development and knowledge gaps, addressing knowledge gaps? Thanks.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity to speak on behalf of COPED, sharing the experience of Kigali, Rwanda, how we come up with being one of the cleanest city in Africa now, Kigali. And we are proud to share the experience and to share what the lesson learned and the process. So, but in few words, according to the question, the three asked questions about the knowledge, the lesson, and the how to accelerate. I wanted to respond to those three questions, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
number one, taking to the knowledge and the capacity development needed for ACCP members, I can say we have three elements that are needed. Number one, most knowledge needed for ACCP member is to know how to combat climate change by establishing different mitigation and adaptation measures, such as adopting integrated waste management in the cities. So that is the knowledge that is needed, or that is lacking in some African cities. So knowing the mitigation and adaptation measures that you can take in terms of mainly adopting integrated waste management system. A second need in terms of knowledge is financial capacity. So we all know in Africa, we lack financial capacity to set up necessary infrastructure. That is also a need in terms of capacity, because you asked about the knowledge and the capacity. Another important need in terms of knowledge is African cities are lacking what we call as dedicated training centers for environment and waste management. So dedicated training centers that are needed. So we have seen in Kigali, we have such, and that is helping those people that are involved, informal and informal people that are always involved in waste management as a private, not as municipalities. So now, in terms of lesson from the past success stories, so we have also 4 points here. The first point, the first lesson learned is that waste can be a good resource instead of being a strong burden. That is known. As another lesson, we have learned that proper waste management can be a good solution for different challenges, such as job creation, income generation, safe environment, all of those. That is a lesson that we got from that success stories. And also, have a clean city is possible. We learned that have a clean city is possible. And some African cities have demonstrated that. So, and a good example here is Kigali and the other African clean cities. The last point on this lesson learned from the success story is that once your city is clean, now you have to move forward to another step, and that is a smart city. So you move from a clean city to now a smart city. And for your information, for example, Kigali is now moving to a smart city, where now Kigali city is integrating ICT in waste management, especially for efficiency in operations, data collection, better monitoring, smart reports, sharing information to researchers and the other stakeholders. So all of that, we have to think about that. So you never stop. You say we are clean, now we are, no, you have to move to other smart levels. Now, lastly, on the question about how to accelerate the mutual learning, so I have 3 points here. Okay. Number one, I can say interested city authorities need to make a step to visit most clean cities to get the password. As the password is not to get it, it's not possible to get it online or by email. So the password is to visit where the city is clean. Then you understand, you hear, you exchange for you to make a plan for your city. So how to accelerate that is to visit, number one. Number two, now I want to tackle the private operators, not only the city authorities, but the private operators like ourselves. We are a private operator. We are not a public company. We are a private operator, but we take advantage of a city with a vision to be a clean city. Now, private operator will need also to meet their counterparty partners private partners in a successful city. So to exchange the experience and develop partnership and the business development for market extension. So last point, to accelerate the learning, I want now to tackle to international organizations like funders and the forum and the platform like this ACCP. Also, they don't have to stay, they need to stay ahead and provide support to achieve, for cities to achieve the vision to be a clean city. So that is my insight about your three main questions asked about this in this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pauline. It's very comprehensive and a nice thing. So it's really interesting to hear that the training is not needed only for the municipal governments, but also private sector and innovators who is also struggling to find solutions. I think that's a very good point. And then also, of course, for this is next question that I would like to also ask to Mr. Kuno and also Francois, how we can really accelerate the mutual learning. And then Pauline just told me that we need actual visits to the cities so that we can learn from each other, and then probably that can be done through the platforms such as ACCP. It's very inspiring to hear that. And then also really kind of nice that you reiterated the importance of training centers, having training centers. I think this is also resonating with a presentation earlier this morning done by Mr. Hamadi Gabi on the CITET, this Tunisia's environmental training center. And it would be kind of resonating that good programs that they're developing with JICA for providing the environmental and solid waste management training. Great. So I think, Kuno, I would like to ask one question about the mutual learning. I think you have done some little bit of exchange between the city of Harare and in Munich, and I heard that you have joined the local stakeholders workshop action planning. Maybe could you tell us about that a little bit more?
Yes, the virtual way is now the best way to stay regularly in contact with Don. I find it very, very good. We can share information. We can discuss the mind map, which I have made after the workshop of UN Habitat in December last year. And I see we must make more networking. It would be good if someone of the staff of Don could come for hospitation to Munich, but we cannot pay it from our department because the fees of the citizens are only for the waste treatment. So the last visit, what we had in Munich, we paid privately accommodation and food for the people who has come. Wow. I make it, I can do it, but we have those strict regulations at the administration of Munich. So we must go another way, connective cities and so on. This could be hard. And I have seen that the trucks for waste collection in Harare are standing still because they have no fuel, no spare parts and so on. So Don cannot really work with the technical equipment what he has.
So it's still with the use of these technologies that some sort of knowledge exchange can be done to some extent. And then that's very also nice to see. Oh no, now we have
Hello, Dawn.
Dawn. Hello, Dawn.
Hello.
Hi, you're muted. Let's unmute. I'm asking you to unmute yourself.
Yes. How are you now? How are you, Kuno?
Yes, hello,
Good.
Dawn. Welcome in our panel session.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
we've been discussing about the experience of mutual learning between city of Harare and in Munich. Maybe could you also share your experience about the city-to-city exchange, what you have benefited so far, and then also what kind of capacity development needs are there in city of Harare?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I think with Munich, we have a twinning arrangement between the city of Harare and Munich. It started way back, I think in about the year 2000, but unfortunately it had died a natural death. So we are trying to resuscitate it. And I think the recent UN Habitat scenario that we had last year helped us so that Munich can become our support city. So on information on capacity building, I think where we need knowledge and capacity development is on items on community participation. We feel that in Harare, community participation in waste collection is very, very minimal. So we really need to be capacitated on how we can engage the communities and they become involved in waste collection, since it is a challenge for the city of Harare. Secondly, I think as well, where we also need some capacity development is on how we can make recycling to be a business for these community-based organizations. We've got a lot of people who are going around and collecting, recyclables, but it's not organized and they don't take it like a business. They just get their monies for the day, they buy meat and that's all. But I think we need training on how they can take up recycling and composting as a business.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lastly, on the capacity, then lastly, I think on capacity development is when on the staff, the city of Harare staff who work in solid waste management is. Unfortunately, we don't have any institutions that really train people on solid waste. So we really need capacity development for our staff on solid waste management. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Don. I think it's very informative, and this is also a recurring topic that we need a training for those youth groups and CBOs who are engaging in waste collection. I think this is, I heard it in Kenya, I heard it in Bukavu, and I heard it in Zimbabwe. I heard it in so many places. Like this is like the practice of the Africa, where the youth groups or young people who don't have a job start engaging with collecting the waste to just get some little bit of stipends for every day. So those are the really like a big theme, seems like, in terms of the developing capacity development sector. It's very inspiring. Thank you so much. And yeah, and then I also would like to ask this question to Francois about, I think you joined the Africa webinar series and then you get connected with Pauline after the presentation. Yeah, and then I think that then after that I saw the some a little bit of exchange between you guys had were there, and what do you, from your experience, those mutual learning experience, how can this be more accelerated? What kind of support do you think you need to accelerate more mutual learning, for example, between you and Pauline?
Before I answer that question, let me add something on what I've been saying in terms of mutual learning, city-to-city learning. There is also this aspect of the study tour. It's not it's not that we really need to get the twinning system between the two cities, but we can also organize like study tours. For example, Bukavu municipality can organize a team to go and learn from Munich, for example. And we really don't need to be in partnership. I mean, in twinning program with Munich city, it's just a matter of sending a team to go and learn from what is happening in that city and then coming with some knowledge and try to implement in Bukavu. And I would also like to say something in terms of the work that ACCP is doing. If it's possible, the ACCP Secretariat can also intervene in assisting cities to do some lobbying to national government. You know, like in our country, we have so many cities, and the same situation we are experiencing here in Bukavu, the situation we are experiencing in Bukavu is the same in many Congolese cities. And without saying in Africa, I'm seeing even in the chat, there are some members here saying the same situation in my city, you know, and I'm sure that African cities we do share same realities. So if the ACCP Secretariat can also assist us in terms of lobbying, making this national government to understand that they have to encourage some effort being done by some cities in their countries. And also the provincial government, like in case of Bukavu, being the capital city of South Kivu province, we have other cities in our province, sorry, and we have a provincial government. And this provincial government might not understand the challenges that we are facing. We who are working on waste management, they also have to support us. So even if we engage them, they actually don't take it on a serious note. But if we can get some support, external support, for example, from ACCP Secretariat, JICA, and other organizations, to help Bukavu City to make these people understand, to help Bukavu City to make the national government understand. Because as I said earlier, the money, we can get money within us. We really don't need to be expecting money from outside always. If we are capacitated, we can, within us, we can be able to raise money and support our own project. So the Secretariat can also assist us on that. We can see maybe later on how they can come in and do some lobbying on national and provincial government. So on the question regarding my colleague Colin, we started engaging together and see how we can also benefit from Rwanda experience through his organization. And we are still working on. I'm sure that we will actually be more developing even plan together with him and see how we can also. We are just neighbor to Rwanda here, Rwanda is doing very well, it's doing a great job, and we Bukavu are struggling. So it doesn't make any sense, and yet we are neighbors. So we really want them to come in and assist us so that we can also change our situation together. There are some cities that have succeeded, but if we just let some of us struggling like this, I don't think if it's good, especially we are in many different platforms together. And some cities should also see how they can facilitate cities like ours, which are still struggling on how to, we grow together, we grow together. We also see how, it's also very important at the end of it, we say, for example, a city A can say, no, I assisted city B, they were at this level and now they are at this level, So we also did something in changing the situation of the city B. And also in terms of the city-to-city learning programs, I would also like to request the ACCP Secretariat to facilitate, some of us, we are doing it in terms of city-to-city cooperation, but if it can go through the ACCP Secretariat, like ACCP can suggest some cities to partner with other cities. Even if we are doing it, but I think because all of us belong to this platform, the ACCP Secretariat can also facilitate us to get in touch with this city. They can identify some cities that have very good experience and connect this city to these other cities. I think it's very, very important. Maybe lastly, let me say about yesterday, we could hear experience from Maputo being done by a certain organization sponsored by JICA, I think, and Kokra method is being implemented there. I commented yesterday that Bukavu is also a hilly city, and we are actually struggling in terms of dam site, yeah, because it's a hilly city, so it's not easy to get a nice landfill or a dam site. So if we can organize like a team to go and learn, they really don't need, maybe there is no need or urgent priority for them to come and assess Bukavu or invest in Bukavu. But Bukavu can send a team. Bukavu can send a team to go and learn from what has been happening in Maputo, what has been happening in Yokohama, something like that, without being in formal partnership. So maybe we can be sending teams, and then we bring the knowledge back. Then we see how we can adjust it in terms of the reality we are having. Because of course, I understand we have different realities, different countries, different realities. So I think that can work for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois. Yes, we want to do this landfill training at the model city or something. But yeah, that's definitely that's on our to-do list. Don, I think you are raising a hand. Can you?
Yes, I just wanted now. Yes, I just wanted to say that I think on accelerating, we need to have exchange programs and not necessarily like just look and learn visits. I've been on many look and learn visits, but what I've tended to notice that when you visit a neighboring city, they show you the best, they show you what it's not really the reality. So I think an exchange program where officers can go for maybe 3 to 6 months. If I was to go to DRC for about 3 to put on a show for that long. So exchange programs, I think, is the way to go, that people will go and be secondary work for 3 to 6 months. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, sounds very interesting. Maybe we can all go to Bukavu, for example. Yes, Pauline, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I want just to come back to city-to-city cooperation and how far we are, Kigali and Bukavu, or what we are doing, Pauline and my colleague there. So I want you just to say, yeah, we are developing it slowly, but what I can say is just 4 points. One is the prerequisite. I can see there is some prerequisite to really go far. And the one prerequisite is to have city-to-city mutual visits. I insist on that. So there must be a willingness and a commitment from city authority to really decide to go somewhere for the sake of in a need to get something also. So we need, it's like we need the city of Bukavu to visit Kigali, to organize a visit as authorities, as I am a private. So they have to come first. And it is my colleague to push that. Number two, we need now, from there we have private to private partnership. I'm sure after that, I will get a private partner there locally to partner and see how we can join and start something, start a business. And number three, so we need ACCP and their partners also to play their role to come in as a bridge breaker, as a facilitator, as my colleague said, in fact, to help for that effort that is coming in. This is the way I see something can happen if you really want a city-to-city cooperation to start something. And for your information, as compared, we have, it's like we are done. We are now exploring exportation. We are exploring where to go and start something as a private and bring the Kigali experience to somewhere else. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pauline. It's very interesting. That's definitely the stimulating the new businesses between facilitating the connection between private sector from this city to this city is very important part, I think. Now I actually would like to also give some a little bit of time to give a Q&A from getting questions from the floor as well. Does anybody have any questions? Please raise your hand and then ask. I think some of the questions are put it to me here. The ACCP is a part of Chad. Chad is part of the ACCP. There's one question from Christian, Mr. Christian Mbaresi, I think. Yes, I think Chad is a part of ACCP. Maybe let me check and then get back to you in terms of this information. Some of the cities in Chad was part of ACCP as far as I remember. Hi, yes, and then also I got some comments from Aman. Really, I appreciate the methods presentation and the way experience sharing the different countries. Really appreciate the methods of presentation and the way of experience sharing of different countries. Thank you. And then from Edward, he heard to the secretary, while we at this training, can we please check if my country, Liberia, is a member of ACCP? Because if it's not, then I'll like to know that so we can begin the application process. Great, thank you very much. I think Liberia is not yet the part of ACCP. So any cities from Liberia and the national government who's in charge of solid waste management are very much welcome. So please send a letter to us, official letter signed by the person who's in charge of the your department, and then we will register yourself. Yes, that we just confirmed that the Liberia is not a country member, and then Chad is a country member at the moment. And then from Maria, I heard that the smaller is possible, but it requires a real commitment from policies and the decision makers. Sometimes the decentralization work better for some activities. I think this is also resonating in some of the comments done by the panelists in terms of the capacity development for those CBOs and youth groups as well. Those are very much decentralized system for the waste collection. However, that is also very much indigenous, I would say, so we shouldn't kill that. And then from Noraldin, I got a question. Let me ask about slaughterhouse waste management. How can it be used? And okay, so maybe maybe Kuno or Pauline, can you answer answer this question on the slaughterhouse waste management, especially from your country or cities? Maybe yes, please go ahead.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I have posted some information in the chat for others. Please, the question is better to answer another person.
Okay. All right. Great. And then there's one question from French. Let me see. I do regard engagement of the local authority to support municipalities on designing a clear waste management structure is a key. Yes, thank you very much from Lubang David. Thank you for your comments. Yes, very important remark on the clear roles and responsibility allocated for different layers of government. Yes, and then I saw that the Liberia, the country, is not a member, but the city of Monrovia is a member of ACCP, I hope. So yes, Francois, are you raising your hand? Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I was requesting if I've seen in the chat Mr. Kuno sharing about biogas. So I don't know if we can get more details on that, maybe after the conference, if we can engage with him and see how we can get more details on that, especially some documents or something like that, because that's one of the things we are thinking about in Bukavu, actually. I remember we were having a discussion with our friend Muto from Japan. He's with us here. I've seen him. So we are thinking on doing something like that in Bukavu. So if we can get more details from Mr. Kuno. I've seen also a comment in the chat saying about the commitment of the political leader. It is very true. Like in the case of Bukavu, our mayor is very much engaged in supporting us in what we are doing. He's always with us. But most of the African countries, I mean, this is not, it's just a reality, even if it's not good for us to experience such. But in Africa, the institutions are not very strong. They are the people who are strong. So today we have a mayor who is supporting us. He's committed to change the situation. But tomorrow the same mayor will not be there. So if the institutions or some structures, like some organs in the municipality are not settled, we will go back to the stage 1 or 0. So the commitment is there. That's my case, actually. My current mayor is very much committed. He's supporting us. But once he's not there, because we will not continue to be there. Once he's not there, the situation crumbles. So if we can we can settle our institutions, our structures, even if different mayors come, still we are continuing to work because we have established a certain system. So and the mayor who will come, he will just find the system working. He will do nothing. But if he comes and nothing is happening, or the system is not settled, he will come and change his own things, because mayors are politicians, you know. For them, they are just focusing on political calculations, just politics. But for us, we are technical. We are more technical. So we really need the support to establish these organs, these structures, so that it can be permanent. Even if the mayors change, but the structure is permanent. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois. It's very, very important point. So the functional system should be really established when the political commitment is there. It's very good lessons learned as well. Kuno, I think you are raising a hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, I will make a short paper with the addresses and I send it to the UN office, so you can get it from Francis, or they will share it with all participants. So I have just checked slaughterhouse at Leodict. I think it's really a big problem. It does give some special companies in Germany who work with it. They treat it, they make biogas with it, but I think it needs a lot of technical equipment and also experience to treat this. I don't know what happens in Africa with these waste. So I think it's also a critical part of waste, like the hazardous waste or oil and so on, asbestos and so on.
Thank you, Kuno. Norardin, I think, is that really clear? Or maybe would you like, maybe you can exchange with Kuno about the emails, and then you can deepen more, exchange.
Yeah.
And then also,
thank you very much. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, and thankful all experts here. I hope to get more knowledge about that, to get that experience by the company in Germany working in that. Maybe we'll keep a contact. I took the email for the Mr. Kono, from Munich, and we'll keep in touch to know more information with that with that company who are working actually in that. I'm sorry that I don't know that the seminar, especially also for the African, but all of us, we are human. I'm from Palestine, from Middle East. I would like to get more knowledge from all of you, and thank you very much. I'm working in the Environmental Equality Authority. I am environmental inspector. That's why I'm asking about slaughtering house management. Also, we have a problem in the wastewater management, or the waste of water in generally. But yeah, it's useful information and fruitful information from all of experts. Thank you very much again, and I will keep in touch with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nuruddin, for the contribution. Now I see hands up from Lubang. David, please go ahead. You can turn on your camera. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Lopez Hussein. I'm from South Sudan. Looked at the African perspective in terms of waste management, especially Juba. There are issues that really have to be addressed at the level of community level, at the local government level. We have to bridge the communities and the local government level. Sometimes you realize that the community members really like to participate much more in waste management, but you realize that there's a gap in between them. So what I mean is there should be a very clear picture in terms of responsibilities that have to be developed. Like, okay, well, who should support the residential areas or the communities, and how should the finance flow, like the financial flow, who should be responsible to collect money from the community level to support as such. This is very, very important. And then the other thing again is maybe we can look at the behavioral change. It is also very important because what I'm seeing is we have to first prioritize on collection of waste first before maybe we look into improving maybe the disposal site. That one may come as the second stage. But the first thing is we have to look at how we can really improve the collection. So the other comment of mine is like we try to see like how we can harmonize private sectors into the waste management system, like the case of Kigali. I think they're working very well with the government. So, like in my case in South Sudan, the national government, of course, developed the policies, and then there's a state government also, Minister of Environment, and there's a local government. So we have to really, there are things that have to be addressed. So ACCP should look into like maybe revisiting these other countries, the member countries, and trying to check how is the waste flow really going on well? Is it right, or so that we can maybe seek some advice from other agencies? So good enough, JICA is on the ground. They are now doing a project on solid waste management. It has just started almost a week now. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much for your contribution. It's a recurring topic, how you connect communities, and then what kind of training is needed for the communities and the local governments, how all of them can work together, especially to increase the waste collection rate, which is many countries are still struggling to reach high level of the achievements. So now I also like, this is something that it really reminded me about this. Again, I would like to share this opportunity for, this is also the opportunity for capacity development, and then also the understanding the waste flow, which was mentioned by the gentleman now. So the DIY, do-it-yourself waste-wise cities to survey, SDG 11.6.1 baseline is open here. So if you go here, then you can see the call for expression of interest for DIY SDG 11.6.1 baseline survey using waste-wise cities to with technical support through African Clean Cities platform. So please look at this and then feel free to submit your proposals and then join this exchange and then also the capacity development opportunities here. So we also would like to remind this opportunities again. And then now I think see the comments from Pauline. I would love to hear how ACCP Secretariat can help PPP initiatives or private initiative from the early stage to the conclusion of change step in the given city. Thank you very much. So now we also would like to introduce this setup. We're going to have an introduction of ACCP associate members on the 5th day, which is basically the donor community. However, ACCP associate members, I can also share it again, is can you see my screen? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Great. So ACCP associate members are anyone who would be interested, any organization who would be interested in co-creating, co-developing the project in solid waste management in ACCP member countries and cities can become an ACCP associate member. So the EOI is still open, expression of interest is still open. Please have a look at it. And then you can join the ACCP as an associate member if you're private sector or any donor community. And so that even the private sectors and the PPPs, public-private sector, partnership or private-private partnerships can also be facilitated from this mechanism, I believe. So please have a look at this. I'm going to share this. I'll share the link here. So please have a look at it. And then we are really envisaging to expand this ACCP associate members. At the moment, we only have 4 members. And we're going to have introduction of them on the 5th day on Friday. However, the door is open for any parties who would be interested in developing tangible projects in solid waste management. You basically can get very detailed information about the city profiles and so on. So thank you very much. I think now we are reaching to the time to end the day 3. Thank you very much, Francois, Kuno, and Pauline for your participation and all the contribution done by the participants today. We very much appreciate this very interactive and active knowledge sharing. So now I would like to do some, if everybody can turn on your camera, then we can have some nice photos for today as the end of today. Great. So, okay, seems like everybody is now turning on your camera. Thank you very much. So let's take 3 photos just in case. So 3, 2, 1 and smile. Great. Okay, next 3, 2, 1 and smile. Great. 3, 2, 1, and smile. Okay, great. Thank you so much for your active participation. Today, we really looked into a very different ways of awareness raising and knowledge sharing. And next tomorrow, we are going into introducing more innovative technologies and initiatives from the private sector. And we're going to have a panel discussion how we can really bring this into connecting them into with the local municipalities under the ACCP and the country members as well. So thank you very much for your time. And we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.